sheriffs, salute you all. Mayors that deserve the salute, I salute you too. I'm just coming at you in the raw, natural, driving down the road, sitting in traffic in Miami, and I wanted to make this follow-up video for you all. I recently sent a video to every sheriff in the state of Florida, as well as to some civil rights groups, our great governor, Ron DeSantis, the Department of Justice, many others. Last night, I had another incident at a Papa John's, and I want to explain to you how it went so you can understand better why and how you need to and can implement your authority and your power and your ability to uphold federal civil rights in places of public accommodation. So last night when my wife got off work, we called Papa John's and we ordered 2 thin and crispy veggie pizzas, and we drove over. I got out of my car. I, as most of you already know, do not, cannot, and will not cover my vital airways with a face mask or face covering for health reasons, which may be mental or psycho-emotional or physical or genetic, which I do not have to disclose to anybody under law. And I do not cover my vital airways rebreathing my own carbon dioxide, my own bacterial mouth waste in and out of my lungs for religious reasons. And both of those reasons are covered under federal civil rights. Nobody in the United States of America can force anybody to cover their vital airways or attach anything to their head, face, or body in the United States of America. And I know most of you, if not all of you, agree with that. Certainly the Trump supporters, the patriots, and the true Americans do agree with that. So when I went to pick up our pizzas, I simply walked in to the place of public accommodation, Papa John's, and pulled out my debit card to pay. The employee proceeded to initiate the sale and ring up my pizza. The manager, a Middle Eastern looking fella, abruptly turned to him and said, "No, he's not wearing a face mask. Don't take his order. I'm not giving you your pizza. You don't have a face mask. I'm not giving you your pizza. Leave." After I had ordered a pizza on the phone. That was pretty pathetic in the United States of America. So I told him I do not wear a face mask for health reasons and for religious reasons. And he said, "No, it's the policy in there. You have to have a face mask." I said, "No, I do not." And he said, "Yes, you do. Leave. I'm not giving you pizza. Or go outside and pay for it outside." And I said, "Go outside and pay for it?" So that's like the same as telling a black person, right? Because it falls under federal civil rights, which is a friendly reminder. Under federal civil rights, a person cannot be discriminated against. They cannot be treated disparately. They cannot be treated differently. They cannot be excluded from having equal access to all of the same services, goods, facilities, accommodations that exist within any place of public accommodation. That's the federal law. You cannot discriminate, treat differently anybody for any reason. That's the purpose of the law. So as I tried to explain that to him, he kept refusing, saying I had to go outside. And then when I was on the verge of yielding to that and said, "Okay, well, I'll go outside, bring your machine, and I'll pay for it outside," he says, "No, you're going to have to call back and pay for it." It was very disrespectful, disruptive to my entire experience at Papa John's to pick up my pizza. So I said, actually at that point, I walked out to my car, I got my video recorder, and I went back in and I began to film. And I repeated to him, I said, "So you're going to refuse me service, you're not going to let me pay for my pizza. Even though you're more than 6 feet away from me, you're wearing a mask over your vital airways, and you're behind a plastic shield, and your employee was about to take my order, you're not going to let me pay for my pizza." And he said, "No." I said, "Well, call the police then." So the police came. And again, sadly, I've explained to the director of police in Miami-Dade County and to the mayor of Dade County that it is very unfortunate that they have not yet trained their officers in the way that I'm going to explain. You do have the power and the ability to train your officers properly. And I'm going to get to that with the conversation I had with the police officers here in Miami-Dade County, so you can understand it better. He called the police. I video recorded that. I went out and I heard the sirens a wailing and I heard the police coming. And I've done this a few times before, unfortunately. I've had to, because of the unlawful, illegal, and ill-written mandates in Miami-Dade County that the mayor, Carlos Jimenez, improperly put out in this town, in this city. Which, again, for the record, there is no local or state rule, law, regulation, mandate that can supersede and override federal law. So we already know that. If you watch the other videos, we've covered that, right? So when the police officers came, one of the police officers had been on another incident with me, and he kind of shook his head and says, "Oh man, again, guy," and he was being pretty cool and agreeable. He actually told me, he says, "Look, I agree with you, but this is a private business. They can do what they want." And that's why I told him, I said, "No, see, that's where you guys are wrong, and the police officers need to be trained accordingly. This is a place of public accommodation that cannot treat people disparately or differently. Everybody's entitled to the same services. So what you can do, officer, is you can walk in and you can explain that to the business that, look, whether it's true or not, this man is claiming that he does not wear a mask over his vital airways for health reasons and religious reasons. So this is a place of public accommodation. You cannot treat him differently. You have to allow him to carry on with his business." So even though I explained that, the officer said, "Now listen to me. No, it's a private business. They can do it." And he says, "I agree with you, and you might have a great lawsuit on your hands." In fact, however he said it, the evidence is in your favor, right? I mean, so they can do what they want. Even though it's wrong, they can do it because they're a private business. So I said, well, this is again where it would be really good for those in charge to train the officers to act in accordance with my recommendation and suggestion, because there's no doubt that if police officers did walk in because they were authorized to do so by their sheriffs and or their mayors to instruct places of public accommodation that they are, under federal law, places of public accommodation that cannot discriminate, treat disparately, treat differently anybody for any reason, and an officer went in and informed that place of business that, they would most likely comply and carry on and allow me or anybody else to conduct their business, most likely. And if they didn't, it's actually an opportunity to appropriately fine a business. You don't fine a business because somebody goes in without a mask. No, you fine a business if they do not allow somebody to go in and be treated equally. Then you fine a business. So in Miami-Dade County, they had it backwards, or still have it backwards. So the point being that, well, I had a good conversation with the officers, and frankly, the officers agreed with me in principle and in theory, and even said, look, the point is I can't go in there and twist their arm and make them, give you your pizza. We can't go in and tell a business what to do. I said, no, that's wrong. You guys are the authority to uphold law. You have the power and the authority to instruct the business. Now, if after instructing them to follow federal civil laws they disobey, then you should be able to fine them for doing that. Plus, the citizen, like me or anybody else, can at that point even have a better documented case to file their federal lawsuit against that business. And again, the police officers agreed with me, hey, you got a lawsuit. I mean, they're going to do what they want to do, and I can't go in and twist their arm, but, you can, take it to court and sue them. And I said, well, again, that's unfortunately One of the reasons why I have to call you guys to come out here is because I need to document it. Because we are in the process of suing them. We are going to sue them, and therefore I need an official report. So now the police officers have to go through the process of filling out a report anyway. So it would make sense if the police officers were filling out the reports on behalf of the citizens, not on behalf of the private businesses that are defined, designated, classified by the federal government as places of public accommodation. Now, I know for a fact, since this video is going to every sheriff in the state of Florida, that there are several, many, if not most, if not all, certainly most, who will agree with me and who will hopefully start implementing that reality. Because I know many of them weren't even aware of this. They're not even aware of the fact that, wait a minute, this guy's right. This is the United States of America. We have the United States Constitution. We have the Bill of Rights. We have federal civil rights, which means a person cannot be discriminated against, treated differently, treated disparately for their age, for their race, for their gender, for their physical condition or makeup or inabilities or disabilities, and for their religion and religious beliefs and practices. So if somebody does not cover their vital airways and rebreathe their own carbon dioxide and bacterial mouth waste in and out of a compartment, in and out of their lungs all day, they do not do that for health reasons, which may be mental or psycho-emotional or physical. And I can go over a variety of examples, which I've done in other videos, as to what that may be for any given individual. Or for religious reasons, because they don't, in their religious practice and their religious belief and their spiritual convictions, my God, my Creator, created me to breathe fresh air, 21% oxygen, not 19% or less that's trapped in a face mask over my vital airways, right? That's their religious conviction. I believe in God. God will protect me. There is no virus that can harm me. There is no invisible enemy. God's invisible, and I believe in God. I trust in God. For religious reasons, it's outside of my scope. Just like there are Muslims who cover their face for religious reasons, there are people who, for religious reasons and convictions, will not cover their face and cover their vital airways, right? That's their religious, spiritual belief and conviction. So that has to be honored in the United States of America because of federal civil rights, let alone the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights and common sense. So again, the ultimate point of this video, sheriffs, mayors, is you do have the legal authority and the power and the right to not take a position of anybody that's in some place of public accommodation, let's go find the business because there's people in there without a mask. But no, respect the fact that there are many people who do not, cannot, and will not wear a face mask, a face cover, and cover their vital airways, or a face shield and obstruct their vision, or feel enclosed or feel encompassed, for any number of reasons for that individual. Because such individuals exist, the proper approach, the proper path is for you to uphold federal law. Know that all businesses in commerce that cater to the public at large are designated, classified, defined by the federal government as places of public accommodation. If somebody says, well, which they're starting to do now. Oh, well, this place, see, yeah, you know, they don't want you going in there, you know, without a mask. I mean, sure, you can go in that one, but this place, their policy. No, it's not about this policy, that policy. That's the reason for federal civil rights, is so that everything is equal across the board in all businesses. You can't have one place of public accommodation where I walk in without a face mask and everything is fine, and then I walk into another where they're like, no, you can't come in here. See, that creates a problem, doesn't it? It creates inconsistency. It creates a problem. It defies logic and reason, and it defies law. So once again, I urge, I implore, I respectfully ask all of you sheriffs under law and mayors to uphold federal civil rights. Train your officers that when they go out on a call where somebody is not wearing a face mask or a face cover over their vital airways, if they make their claim, which they're entitled to do, that they do not wear it for health reasons, which they do not have to disclose to anybody what that reason is under law, or for religious reasons, both of which are covered under federal civil rights, that they have the right to carry on with their business in that place of public accommodation. And if the people inside the place of public accommodation are really scared, they've got their mask on, which we know doesn't prevent an alleged virus, if it really existed anyway, right, from entering. But they've got their face mask on and they can step back 6 feet and they're behind their little plastic shield anyway, right? So you can honor the people, the power of the people, and honor federal civil rights by training your officers accordingly. Officers, when you go out to any such of a call, simply ask the person why they're not wearing the face mask. If they tell you it's for health reasons, or if they tell you it's for religious reasons, instruct the business that they must give that person the same equal access to all the same goods and services and facilities and accommodations as anybody else that's in there. I salute you, officers, that will follow up and do that. You have the power and the right to do it. And by doing so, you're doing the good work. You're doing God Almighty's work. You're doing the work of the United States of America under the United States Constitution, under the Bill of Rights, and under federal civil rights. And then you're working for the people. Then you are serving and protecting the people whom you were sworn to uphold and protect, and the federal laws that you were sworn to uphold and protect. God bless you all. Be safe, and God bless America.